Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the National Electoral Commission, I would like to welcome you very cordially at the press conference of the Commission summarizing the election day. The conference participants include Deputy Chairperson of the National Electoral Commission, Judge Sylwester Marciniak, members of the National Electoral Commission, Judge Grzegorz Jędrzejek, Judge Wojciech Kręcisz, Judge Janusz Niemcewicz, and Secretary of the National Electoral Commission and at the same time Head of the National Electoral Office, Madam Magdalena Pietrzak. Over to you, sir. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last press conference today. Time has come for a brief summary. First of all, we would like to thank all people engaged in this election day. I would like to also commend the voters. Just to remind you, at noon the turnout was 14.39%, at 5 p.m. 32.51%. I think that after 9 p.m. it exceeded 40%, yet still we are waiting for the official results from polling stations. Moreover, I would like to thank members of the commissions in the polling stations for what they did up until now, and we ask them for a little bit of effort more to determine the final results. Furthermore, I'd like to thank the police officers and other officers who provided security on the election day. We have the most recent information about the election day, and out of the over 27,000 of polling stations and almost 30 million voters, we can say that we had a very peaceful election day. In total, we only had 19 incidents that may be classified as criminal offences and 7 falling under the penal code. When it comes to misdemeanors, there were only 90 misdemeanors, including 35 related to the electoral code. It's also worth giving you an overview of the results of the elections abroad. We received the information from the plenipotentiary of the Minister of Foreign Affairs for the European Parliament elections in 2019. The information clearly states that in all polling stations abroad, the voting started on time. Up until now, we haven't had any information about problems or incidents. The voting that took place on the 25th of May finished in all polling stations until 9 p.m. local time. In the majority of polling stations, the voting is already over. However, there are some which are about to finish. At 11, we will finish the voting in Morocco, Senegal and Iceland. And that was the summary of today's part of the election day. Tomorrow we shall have conferences at 10, 1:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. Unless we have the official results before that we'll get from the polling stations, district electoral commissions and to us. Are there any questions from the journalists? Good afternoon, Michał Dobrobowicz, RMF FM. You said the turnout is over 40%. Where was it the highest? Well, ladies and gentlemen, in the context of the official results that we received from the polling stations as of noon, let me remind you, then the turnout was over 14%. At 5 p.m. it was over 32%. Add 4 hours to that, and we can state with high probability that the turnout is going to be over 40%. We will be able to give you precise data as soon as we get the results from all the electoral commissions. Next question, please. Well, I'll ask another one. I assume that the areas with the highest turnout that you quoted at 5 are still valid today. Nothing changed here. Yes, the data from 5 p.m. are the only data that we have. In terms of official data, we don't have any other turnout data from there. Are there any questions? If there are no further questions, I would like to thank you all very much for participating in this conference, and we invite you to subsequent conferences tomorrow, most likely at 10 a.m. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good night and see you tomorrow.